Folks, we're back here today to talk about, you guessed it, cyber morality, which is really my mission statement, but it really comes down to number 2 over here, which is tech demystification. And today's topic is 7 principles for the super connected world, aka IoT at home. And the idea for this came about because of an interesting website I happened to go, which talks about a robot, a home robot, which is friendly, has a heart, has feelings, and gets to know you, your pets, your kids better. All good, except when I went to their privacy and legal page, all sorts of alarm bells started going off. So I just distilled that down into 7 principles. Principle number 1. And these are principles that every vendor or service provider needs to adhere to, and we'd all be living in paradise. Number 1. I, as a vendor, will stop hiding behind acronyms. For instance, this vendor had FIPS listed on their website. Now, as a technologist, I know what FIPS means. That means nothing to an end consumer. So stop throwing acronyms out there just because your lawyer said it's a good way to cover your ass. Hashtag make it easy. Number 2, if I'm running my software on, AWS or Google, doesn't matter, I will not be a coward and redirect you to their privacy practices link. I will interpret what that means to you, my customer, and will take full responsibility of your privacy, which means hashtag the buck stops here. Number 3, I will stop parroting what the lawyers told me, which is, for instance, we cannot guarantee the security of our systems 100%. Everybody knows that, but what does it mean to me as a consumer when you say, hey, we can't guarantee it 100%? Is it 90%, 70%? Means nothing. Instead, grow a backbone and say, in the event something bad happens, we will reimburse you for the entire cost of the product or service that you've purchased, and for the data that you have provided us during the period that you've had or used our service, we will put a premium which is at least going to be equal to the product or service cost. Hashtag sleep easier. Number 4, I will stop sharing your data with third-party services. Period. No ifs or buts. Unless you, Mr. Consumer, will give me consent, not once, but on a monthly basis. And if you fail to renew that consent, I will stop sharing your data. I call it hashtag no slime zone. Number 5, you, the consumer, will always have the right to be forgotten, thanks GDPR, or General Data Protection Regulation. If you hit the nuclear button for any reason, your data is instantly obliterated. Any anonymized data we have collected that does not explicitly identify you anymore, but did originate from you, will be assigned a monetary value, which we will credit/reimburse you for making a machine learning that much smarter. Hashtag kill and credit. Number 6, I will make it easy for you to understand the data that I've collected from you and what value it has for me. How so? Simple, by giving you a credit for the service I provide. The months that you've been generous with your data, you get a high credit. But the months that you've actually turned off tracking, you have turned off all sorts of sensors I have put in my software, you've been quote-unquote bad customer, which means everything is good except I won't give you any credit. Hashtag make it fair. Number 7, I will encrypt everything I collect off you. Everything. And keep the encryption keys in a separate location. This is analogous to keeping your home keys and your padlock in separate locations, not keeping it together. And should something bad happen despite all of this, see number 3. And to remind you, number 3 is, I will not parrot what the lawyers tell me, but instead I will reimburse you for the cost of the product or service plus an assigned value to the data that I've collected. So last principle, hashtag trust starts here. So these are not mind-blowing principles. These are just codification of what I think in a super connected world, especially when IoT starts to invade our homes, would make the consumers, the providers, the vendors so much more in congruence with each other and make it a much more trustworthy environment. Because guess what? Bad stuff will happen, but if we know what's happening, where data is being collected, what our rights are, it will be such a more positive experience for all of us. With that, I'm going to stop. Thank you for listening. More in a week. Thank you.